here from Mindy's Craft Shack. Today I'm going to be doing a two-tone wood grain tumbler. What I'm doing is using the wood grain tumbler that I did in last week's video. That way that part's already done. So if you want to see how I did the first part, go ahead and go to the link above and that will show you how to do just a wood grain. So this tumbler has already been epoxied at least one time. All right, the next step you want to do a two-tone is cut out your vinyl, whatever design you want to do. And I'm doing one that has the name Michael, and then I'm a weekend hooker, and it's of a fish. So I'm going to show you how I put those on, and then after that I go and spray paint it. But first let's get this on. So I've got my lid on so I know exactly where the middle's going to be. And I just use that as a guide. Okay, the contact paper that I'm using is just your dollar store contact paper. The clear contact paper. Now I line it up with that ridge of the lid and I center it from there. And I'm just making sure that it's even on each end. That there's about the same amount of distance from the bottom as there is to the top to the name. Now remember, you do want to have your cup epoxied before you do this step because you don't want to go and take up the contact paper and it take that paint off. And I really like using this contact paper because although it is strong and does a good job, it comes off a lot easier on the cups. So there you have the name. Okay, and I just use any removable contact or any removable vinyl. You want to make sure you use vinyl that's removable. And then I'm going to turn it on the other end or other side. And I just use the top of the lid where that slider is. And that's how I'm going to determine where my middle is. Okay, like I said, this contact paper isn't like super duper strong. It does hold the vinyl on there. I'm just going to take my squeegee here and go over that picture. And I do it on both sides. I guess they call this varnishing. So we're just going to varnish that. And then I'm going to see if it comes up. And you will see it really doesn't take a hold of that vinyl very well. So what I do is I turn it over to where the contact paper's on the counter. And I just kind of take the backing of that vinyl and peel it back. Making sure I don't touch that contact paper because if you start messing with it, then it can get all wrinkly and just kind of make a mess for you. And as I'm going, I'm making sure that all my letters and all that are sticking, so I'm not missing anything. Okay, and you can just throw that away. And there you go. I have it right on that contact paper or transfer paper. So I'm just lining up where I want this to go, trying to make sure it is on the middle. And then I take one side and lay that down, and then I take the other side and lay that down. And then I peel this back slowly since there's a lot of little pieces that could be left behind. But like I said, with this transfer paper, it really allows that vinyl to stick good to your surface. Making sure all my letters are weeded out before I do the next step. Alright, so the next step is I'm going to go and spray paint this white, okay? And then I'll let it dry, and then we'll come back and do the second part of this. Now that we've got that spray painted and it's dried, I'm going to go ahead and start the alcohol ink process to make that wood grain. With this, I'm going to go ahead and just take a used chip brush, and it's just alcohol ink on there. And I think I'm going to use the caramel. If you want it darker than the caramel, go ahead and use teak wood. That's like the darkest of the Tim Holtz alcohol inks. But I think I'm going to go with the caramel. If I seem like I want it darker than what this is going to give me, I'll go ahead and change. So we're just going to go like we did with the previous video and the alcohol ink on there. And you're just going to take it from top to bottom. And you're going to go right over those decals. I haven't taken those up yet. And what I'll do now is just go ahead, since you've seen me go top to bottom, and I'm just going to go around the whole cup like that. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this part. And you see I've gone all the way around that cup. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom. And we do that just like we did before. Take it from the middle and fan it out. And there you go. Now you see around the bottom edge you have some that's come over. So what I'm going to do is just go around where those are, and I'm actually going to go up the cup to smooth those out. I'm going from bottom to top. And then back down again. Just so those are smoothed out. just kind of gives it a little bit more of a darker coat also. Which will make that color underneath show up really well. All right, and there you have it. Now those marks are gone and the bottom still looks really good. And it's dry, so I can touch it. I can take off those decals now. And so that's what I'm gonna do next. So I'm just gonna get my little holder here, and it's just two pool noodles that I've cut down and put some rubber bands around. And then I'm using this Vivid Re-Ease. It's a great tool to do weeding on or weeding with, and it's just like a little pin, like a sewing pin tip there, and it just really takes off and gets under that vinyl, and I don't scratch it as much as I do with the Cricut weeder, which really helps with not having to fix anything. And then I'm just going to start taking that vinyl off of there. And your goal is to do it without scratching any of that paint off. Like I said, this tool works really well with that. So while I'm doing this, I will go ahead and fast forward while I'm doing this, and I will be back with you when I have it all weeded. So I'm just taking off this last little piece, and then that part is all done. Like I said, this tool is a lifesaver. I have not scratched with this tool since I've started using it. And there you go. There's the name, and then on the other side, the picture. It says, "I'm a weekend hooker." So the next thing you're going to do now is, everything is pretty much the same as in part one. You're going to go and you're going to spray paint a clear coat on here. Let that dry for about 30-40 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and epoxy it. I don't think I need to show you all that, so what I'll do is I'll just go do all that, epoxy it, and then bring it back and show you the final result. So I'm going to go do that now. Here it is, the finished two-tone wood grain alcohol ink tumbler. Now remember, if you like this video and want to see more, click the subscribe button in the lower right side corner. Also, give me a thumbs up. You can also find me on Facebook at Mindy's Craft Shack, and I do have a Facebook group called Mindy's Craft Shack Group. Those will be listed in the description down below. I want to say thank you for watching and hope you all have a wonderful day. Love ya. Bye.